everything you're able to achieve in Qatar?
It feels amazing to be back on Australian soil, connect with the boys again since the amazing tournament that we had. It feels very special, and we're looking forward to the game, playing in front of the fans. That were amazing support that we felt while we were in Qatar.
How do you contrast those emotions with the games before the World Cup, when there was, maybe some negativity, concerns around the team, how you might go, all that sort of speculation, contrasting it with where the team sits now? How do you sort of weigh that up in your mind?
I mean, to be fair, there's obviously been a huge shift, I think, in the feeling of that. We felt the amazing support during the tournament, when I think we probably made the naysayers kind of eat their own words. I think even, all right, France was a big loss, but I think we kind of showed a bit there where we went 1-0 up in the first 30 minutes. And then after that, we obviously just thrived in the tournament, and I feel like we earned the respect that we deserve. We didn't really let the negativity build up before the World Cup to get to us, and we used that as motivation. And I felt like we've seen the shift now in the support. We saw the support, which is a big reason why we're back here playing in Sydney and Melbourne, because we saw those scenes when we were scoring goals and winning those games. It was incredible.
And Mitch, for the Argentina coach to come out a week or so ago and say that the Socceroos were the hardest competition that they faced, how does that make you feel, the world champions?
I mean, I think we can take huge pride out of that, and that's like the best validation you can get from the current world champions. For their coach to say that we're the hardest game to prepare for is like huge credit to us, and I think we've earned the respect from the footballing community all around the world, and we can take huge pride in that.
These next two games obviously classified as friendlies, I guess, but how important are they for the group, I guess, the stability of the group to remain as is?
Yeah, I think for us now, it is obviously a bit of like a reward for us to be able to show, the Aussie fans on home soil, to see the players that did the job in the World Cup tournament, but also for the players now. We're in a new cycle. Graham Arnold's building for the Asian Cup and the new World Cup cycle as well, so we've got to show ourselves. There's no real friendly matches, I feel like, in international football. You're playing for your country, you want to do a job, and you want to show the Aussie supporters what we're all about.
With the young players coming through, Mitch, does it feel like the fight for an Asian Cup place starts now?
100%, and I think Arnie has mentioned that it's a clean sheet of paper for everyone to show themselves. So, we have maybe the upper hand to get that first camp in, to show yourselves and put yourselves on that clean sheet of paper and try and keep your spot. It's exciting to see the young talent that's coming through. There's some amazing young players that we're seeing, and I'm watching a lot of them in the A-League as well. And it's exciting for Australian football, and we can all be excited about what's to come for the future.
I think the last time we spoke to you, you were on your way to New York. How's it been?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've settled in really well in Tokyo, and Japan's almost like my second home now. I've been there for 6 years plus, so I'm really enjoying it, and hoping my club football can keep me in the setup for the national team moving forward, and being a part of the Asian Cup coming up in January.
Do you notice the perception of Australian football has changed around the world? Do more people at your club and in Japan talk about Australian football and ask you about the Socceroos, given how the World Cup went?
Oh, massively. I think we've definitely earned a lot of respect all around the world. Even when I went back to England after the World Cup, people were giving me compliments there about how well Australians did. In Japan, the feeling is the same, and the respect levels have definitely grown, and that's a huge credit to us. And hopefully we can keep that going. Big expectation now probably for us in the next Asian Cup, and we have our sets and our expectations very high for that.
It feels like a lot of the players now have also moved on. Subsequently, you've got Harris Souttar's now in the Premier League, whereas the Scotland that speaks volumes of also the production that's coming out of Australia as well.
100%. All the young boys doing really well. Harris Souttar, very key to that. He had an amazing tournament and very well deserved move to the Premier League, which is great to see. And I've got a good feeling about a lot of these young boys. They're going to be playing at a very high level in the years to come.
Still keep an eye on the A-League, or is it a bit hard from here?
No, I do. I love it. I watched the Derby match that was just recent, and it was good to see Western Sydney Wanderers win it very convincingly, which is great for a Sydney boy myself. It was great to see, and the A-League's really good. It's a great league, and you see, I think in the World Cup tournament that we had so many players that had come through the A-League, and they did really well and stepped it up against the best players in the world. So I think that's a huge credit to the league that we have here in our own country.
The striking role is such an important one of the team. I mean, you managed to win that spot during the World Cup. What do you make of the challenges coming through for your position?
Yeah, I mean, healthy competition is always important. For me, I'm a very different player to some of our other striking options, and it's just about what we bring to the table, and it's up to Graham Arnold to choose what he believes will get the job done. For me, I know I'm very different to a Jamie McLaren and a Jason Cummings and Adam Taggart and things like that, but I think we all work really well and we can all do a different job, and that's up to Arnie to see, I guess what he wants on the certain games that he wants to choose, I guess.
The goal against Tunisia, how have you reflected on it over the last few months? Have you allowed yourself to indulge in it? You'd be forgiven for doing so, Mitch. Have you allowed yourself to indulge in it over the last few months?
To be fair, like now that I'm back playing club football in Japan, the last 5 games, I'm still watching my goal going into the games and stuff. I can't get enough of it. It was probably the best feeling in the world. It's a very addictive feeling, and it's something you look back on and be really proud about and want to experience more of. So yeah, no, for sure, I definitely still enjoy it, and it's a clip I've probably watched thousands of times.
You mentioned GP, one of the players that played against the league and stuff really well in soccer was some of the radar size Kai Rolls. I think he's the back Kai makes one of those players that could potentially step up to that.
You know what's so funny? I got a funny story about Kai Rolls. When I played against him with Wanderers and Central Coast Mariners, I had a bit of a battle with him, and he was kicking me, and I was at fair play to him, very young boy coming up against an older player like myself, and giving it to me, sticking it into me there. And I actually had a word with him. I was like, when Mariners weren't doing so well, I was like, you're going to be playing an NPL soon, and here he is, absolutely killing it, doing unbelievable in the World Cup, doing really well in Scotland, earned a huge, I guess, long contract here in Scotland for the Hearts, and huge credit to him. He was a great asset for us in the World Cup, and he's got a very, very good future ahead, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in the Premier League at some point in the future.
You mentioned Arnie re-signing. You mentioned Arnie for the next cycle. How important is it to have that? I guess that's stability in the coaching ranks for the next cycle.
Oh, I think it's very important. I think the environment Graham Arnold has set within the lads is it's a family-orientated environment. We're like a band of brothers that just literally go to war together, and we actually get the job done. And I think he showed that in the World Cup, and I think it's huge credit for him to stay on and hopefully build on that. And I think everyone wants to be involved in that. All the players know about it, and we really enjoy playing under him. So hopefully we can keep repaying his trust and belief in us.
Any more for Beautiful?
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.